Welcome to Awake and Activate. Today we're going to talk about the matrix, and knowing how we got programmed is the key to our freedom. As all things are presented to us, it's always with good intentions. Back 50 to 70 years, it was a letter that we would get from a friend that would bring us whatever news or what was happening in their area, and they were a trustworthy source. Well, when we started having television and media outlets in the very beginning, it was a very honorable position to have with a lot of integrity. Then they try to blame it on 60 Minutes. If anybody remembers that 60 Minutes came out and it actually got ad revenue and turned a profit. And although each station had to have a news program on it, it was always a money losing business. They found out they could make some money and started turning out more people interest stories, or not quite the news we were used to. That's one way that the programming began in mass amounts of people. And then with all these secret programs and alphabet agencies, not only do we have that to deal with, false information or disinformation, we also had our lives to live that were very busy. We had to work full time, and today both mother and father need to work full time just to keep the house, the children, food, clothes. Takes both of us bringing in an income. So the hustle and bustle has really sped up for us, and the only place to get the news is from the news, and not all the news is good for us. Now we also have other outlets. Now remember, the box is something that we're each living in, our own individual matrix that has our life, our family, and our job, and our components, our finances, our home, everything in that. And the bigger matrix is going out to all of the population to get us in one thought, one mind, and in one accord. How many of you guys remember when Facebook and other platforms of social media was putting news stories in there that would cause an emotional response within the people who are reading it or scrolling through? And it was a measurable difference in how people were feeling with their moods. They were getting depressed and upset, and that came out into the open that they were running this kind of a test on people, and they got in a heap load of trouble when it was exposed. But we don't know if they're still doing it, or that was just a way of calling it out and letting us know it's happening, because they're always supposed to reveal their plans to us, so that way we can use our wisdom, common sense, and discernment. But do you guys remember that? I sure do. I'm sure that you're all aware that almost every news outlet reports the same news. No matter where you are in the world, it's always the same. We've seen several examples of that from truthers who brought up, that they were all reporting the same stories at the same time on the same day. It was very interesting on how this propaganda was spreading around the world. So now that we're aware of the two main culprits, which are actually bundled into several different packages, so we feel like we have freedom of choice of which one we use, but all the same information is coming out from every single choice that we make. And we we are aware of the Schumann resonance and how it goes up and down. And I know that they were talking about brain mapping, and of course they've been testing what the levels would be based on our frequencies, our energies, the vibrations, by the different information that they would put out. Cruelty to animals or something happening to children would bring people down really low and really sad. But, happy stories and uplifting stories, well, they're few and far between, but they would warm people's hearts, like puppies and kitties. So just realize what you're looking at. And then once we're identifying this, then we're going to talk about what we're going to do to deprogram. One of the things that can really help you is to find people who are honest, who are not wanting followers or yes men, who do not mind your critical thinking as long as you're respectful. A good debate or a difference of opinion is okay. That's the way we're meant to be. That's a good foundation right there. So on social media, that's kind of what I look for. But sometimes we just need to take a break and unplug from the television and social media and focus on just what is going on around us in our own homes, and then watch as we're reflecting inwardly, the things outwardly around us start to change, to calm down. And as things slow down, we're able to think more clearly and make better and healthier decisions for our families and ourselves by not taking in information that we have not seen or verified. And we know through television and movies that, they can pretty much make anything look real. Think about it. So to deprogram from the programming is to pull yourself away. Go ahead and go into your little box. You're going to come out of your little box as a new person. You have to introspect first. You can't just get an instant download and then think it's all over. Be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself, and allow the process to take place as things start to slow down without you watching the propaganda. And be careful on even social media. As you're quieting your mind and getting away from all of the information that's going into you to put you in a formation to manifest what they're projecting out through these black screens as computers or black screens as television. Just envision yourself by this beautiful waterfall with flowers. Everybody's healthy, happy, the water's clean and pure and beautiful. And eventually the box disappears. And now you're only focusing on the waterfall. Look at how beautiful that is. And as time goes on, you'll see the most amazing things around you. And the more people that understand that we are the ones who got ourselves programmed, and we are the ones who can get ourselves deprogrammed just by doing a few things. Just believe what you actually see. I don't care if somebody is telling you that it happened a different way or not. Just stick with your gut and how you remember seeing it or having it happen in your life. Be sure of yourself without any doubt, and stop feeding yourself from sources that are unverifiable. If you don't know anybody that lives in that area or that is impacted, that is a close friend or relative, well, then that news probably needs to just be set aside as propaganda, because we know that they use these things and these tools in order for us to manifest the world that they want, where we want to manifest a world that is good for everyone, and to realize that you have all of these gifts within you as a part of the promises of, the God Almighty, who gave his only begotten Son. Or it doesn't really matter what religion you are. It's not the dogma, it's your faith. It's your faith and removing the doubt. And all things are given to those who ask, knock, seek, and you shall receive. And remove the doubt and watch this place just change overnight. But realize that every person is a sovereign. So when we have the bulk of people still watching mainstream media, social media, and doing those type of things, well, their school of thought is going to be different. And until we get to that tipping point where we've got the higher percentage, then like these peaceful things will start to come in. And actually, when you stop listening to all this stuff and you really look around you, you really don't see all of this craziness going on that we hear about. So there's some food for thought. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day, and the boxes will disappear, the codes will disappear, you will be whole, your family will be whole, and we will be in one mind and in one accord in the truth, because that is what we are promised. Have yourself a great day. Peace.